You.
Yes, me. Me too.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of ShitYeah. Glad I could do this today. Honestly, I've been looking forward to this episode ever since the last dev stream, and nothing but excitement has popped off since then for the few people that I know are tuning in, and as the tail catches wind, I'm starting to just see the paint peel back and exposing a lot of this hatred and animosity in the community for what it is. And that's kind of what the whole intro and title has to do with, this me attitude and how it's been infecting the community. And honestly, I didn't really get this vibe back in the Gears 4 days, you know? There never was this exclusionary force where people felt entitlement and ownership. It just baffles me. Some of these people who are, I don't know if you're deranged or off your meds, no insult to anybody who takes medication, but just being realistic, I don't know what's going on for people to have these mental breakdowns on a daily basis and try to suck people into that world. It's just a little uncalled for. And if you think about it, where do some of these people get off? So first, I think we'll touch on the dev stream, as I always like to. And initially, I thought I was going to do these on Thursdays after the dev stream, but no, I don't really feel like waiting around for the coalition. I don't need a heads up from them. I see what kind of information leaks out, what's going on in the community. I check things from day to day and kind of gauge where things are at. From what I can tell, the game is still in really bad straits. I don't know what else to say. And I'm sorry that I'm not like some of these other guys out here who are going to give you that positive throwback when it's nothing to be happy about. You know, that's like a team down 40 points and you finally hit a touchdown and you like spike the ball and everybody's chest bumping and you're flipping off the other team. Oh, this is my house. But dude, you're still down 34 points. This is nothing to celebrate. You guys are down a year, miserable experience, piss poor content, but we're all supposed to be fucking celebratory. And it just doesn't make sense to me where I sat in the dev stream and I am going to talk about one thing that really bothered me. And I had a lot of time to reflect on it. Wasn't sure if I was going to go here, but why not? Jonathan Taylor. Man, never been so disappointed in an adult, especially considering I'm one. I'm not one of the children that happen to play your game. People tell me you've been around for a minute. I don't know much about you. It was never something that I cared for, to have personal relationships with adults when I was a children back during the Gears 1, 2, and 3 era. It wasn't a dream of mine to meet Cliffy B or Rod Ferguson, and it's not a dream to meet you. I try to interact with you because I'm told you're responsible for the spectrum of things that I care about that I feel are detrimental to the game. These decisions that you're making in conjunction with Jamie, these are all things that you're responsible for, that I don't have control over, that Dana doesn't have control over, that Jim doesn't have control over, all these other people, Bonnie, all these people are fine within their own realm, but the two people that matter the most are absent the most. And I appreciate you coming on the streams every now and then, but really, you're chatting for about, within that hour and a half spectrum you do these dev streams, I maybe hear from you talking 15 to 20 minutes of the whole time. That's your engagement rate. Otherwise, you're just sitting there, glossing over comments, but ignoring them, which is a choice. And I know this because of the way you interacted with me on that last stream. And you may not be there every stream like I am. You probably have better things to do, I assume. But the time that you're there, I don't know if you took the time out of your busy day to look at the two interactions that you and I have had. We had one positive interaction that I walked away from very confident about. Made me follow you on Twitter. I was like, okay, this guy is reasonable. Really appreciated that he saw something in the one-shot down conversation and wanted to take a deeper thought. That was really what I was hoping for. And almost 2 months later, and I get ridiculed? I don't understand. I just don't get it. Were you frustrated that day? Did you not want to be there? Were you disappointed that you were getting paid to have 1,000 people look up to you and have you explain and rationalize the decisions that have been chokeholding this game for a year? I really don't know what else I'm supposed to say. I don't want to think you're a bad guy, but the way you treated me was in poor taste. It truly was, and man, I can understand if you don't care about the one shot down or you don't want to have that conversation. Maybe you were, out of the 2 times we've talked, maybe you were just sick of that. I don't know why you're so against that idea, but I have explained many times with my engagements on either the forums or Reddit community surveys that I run, which I have all the screenshots and data if you want to see it. Again, I've mentioned multiple times. Be happy to share it with you. People are interested in seeing this mechanic come back. I have called Jamie out in the past for saying we don't want to remove wall cancel because it's a legacy feature. Players have become accustomed to using that feature and relying on it. We think it provides a deeper skill curve to the game. But that argument is just invalid to me because you also brought no wall cancel to Classic Execution after a year because nothing else was working. So you're like, let's cherry pick an idea from a content creator in the scene, not really give them a head nod for it, but the people who are in the community will know. But the commoners will just praise you for this, thinking that you're the ones who have decided to do this. I don't think there was anybody at the Coalition rooting for this to come. I think there were people that were against it for a long time and are still against it. I hear it in the dev streams that, honestly, Jim, I appreciate that you're from Australia. You know, I love my Aussies, but honestly, mate, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about sometimes? Who are you to talk over Dana or anybody in the stream and give your personal conjecture about that mode that if you don't care about it, if you weren't there back in the day and that isn't your mode, you know, if it isn't your play, don't perform it, brother. I don't know what else to tell you. You're a great guy, and I like having a strong Australian presence in the dev streams, but sometimes it almost feels like you were only brought on to bully people, to kind of shit on other people's opinions that don't fall in line with the philosophy that you're preaching at the Coalition for Gears 5. So, respectfully, I can't help but feel this disconnect when Dana is so great with his engagement. He has no problem taking somebody like me who, you know, I'm sure lots of people have their opinions, think I'm a piece of shit. Who fucking cares? He has no problem throwing that conversation out there, opening it up, giving not only me, but the people that I represent and engage with a voice in those streams. You didn't just dismiss me, you dismissed all those people, everybody that I've engaged with over the months. And I'm sorry that I'm not every single day spending 20 hours on the forums like some of these people do, like TC Clown, like Excalibur. You know, I could keep going on. I really could. Levo, Daniel, all these people that are just camping on the forums looking to jump on threads that they don't believe in. And it's sad when you see these mods that I don't know if they're working in the shadows, just doing shady stuff, banning people for no reason, And, it really does kind of show this clique mentality. That's why I haven't been on the forums in months, because I don't care. I'm not going to go to a place where, it's biased. You punish people for having a voice because you don't like the way they speak. That's just so ignorant to me. Locking threads instead of just, moderating the forums and making sure the people who are being toxic, their posts get removed if they're not staying on topic. I have a strong belief in if you don't care for something, you shouldn't say anything about it. I'm all for freedom of speech. It's not that. But, for example, there's people out there who love, if you spend 50 minutes on a video, they love to be the first person in the thread saying, your video's 50 minutes long. Nobody's going to watch that. But that person has thousands of watches on other videos similar to that, and you just sound like an out-of-touch idiot who doesn't make content and doesn't understand there is an audience and what YouTube is and what rewatchability is, just like replayability on video games. The reason why people come back and continue to do the same thing over and over again instead of moving on to something else. But that must be a clueless concept for some of these people who like to go to these threads that they don't believe in, spew this nonsense, and they haven't even watched the video. They haven't even skimmed it. They've just come up with this predisposition to something that maybe they'll agree with if they actually took the time to look into it. And I'm not saying everybody has 50 minutes to watch a video. But at the end of the day, if you aren't going to take the time to give an honest feedback about something, you probably shouldn't say shit. You should probably shut the fuck up and leave it to the professionals. Because they're better at it than you. Where's your fucking content? And if that's your skills for social interaction, I'm disappointed. I don't think you were raised very well. We weren't taught the same lessons, you and I. I know how to respect people in conversations. I also know how to call people out when they're being too aggressive and like to dunk on people for no reasons. Don't be pathetic. I think we can all evolve past that kind of, I don't know, that lame snake approach. We're better than that at this point. Or maybe some of us aren't. I don't know. I had to deal with moving on from the dev stream and my disappointment in Jote and not wanting to entertain other people's ideas. I guess he wants to be the band on the Titanic sinking with the ship. He doesn't want to actually avoid the iceberg. But at this point, I've kind of accepted that it's already hit. They want to go down. And, oh well. As much as I love the game, if you're not gonna hear these other arguments that people have taken time out of their life to form for you, like all this excellent feedback that nobody at the coalition is getting paid like $15 an hour to watch a video and give you bullet points at the meetings. I don't know. What is the problem? What the fuck do you guys got going on that's so much more important? Now, if somebody died, there you go. That's definitely more important than working on a video game and dealing with a lot of backlash. But at the same time, we all do sign contracts and agree to provide a service, and that we won't let shit get in the way of that. And you're professionals. You should be able to rise above whatever's going on. And I'm going to let everybody in on a little secret. The people that are using this at-home argument to avoid work, that's exactly what it is. I know people who get to work from home because of COVID. They're based off of, their technology. They have to be at the house and still take care of something major. And it makes their job easier and they're able to fuck off more than they ever were able to. That's the reality. That these guys have cashed out, and right now they are enjoying an extended vacation. Not doing anything. That's the reality. And I appreciate that we got an extra map for this last operation. But I'm sorry, no new mode. And this, this toxic back and forth. Yeah. Jote, if you want to shut me the fuck up, there's one way, brother. Bring the one shot down to the game. Either in the dev playlist, or as a feature that you can enable or disable in customs. Do you want to know how to do it? I made a video if you want to look on my channel. It's at timestamp 1046 on the one shot down video. If you YouTube Gears 5 one shot down, my video will be the first video that comes up. I'm the only one that's really putting a public eye on this, but there are people talking about it, and whenever I open the door to the conversation, it gets deeper. For example, GGZ and Dutch just did a joint podcast together. It was great. You should tune in, watch the whole thing. I was there, I had time, and I have a busy life. It was great. And they touched on it towards the end. Even Dutch came around to the idea that while some people may not necessarily like the one shot down, guess what? It's a necessary evil. That's just the way it is. In every other game, players that have been around, experienced, know the rotations, and like to just play that cutthroat boss way. You know how many times I've rotated a different way on Subway to do a 1v3? Snuck around a boom shot, and because of a one shot down, I can play off that advantage. I don't expect to win every 1v3, but I like the thrill of that moment. That you really can just go in there and piece people up. If you hit that perfect shot from about 2 footsteps away, yeah, you can down somebody. And then with execution rules, that doesn't mean you get to clean the person up. That means you have to step forward again and get into execution range. That's another reason why a lot of people have asked you to go to execution rules for these game types. TDM, King of the Hill, yeah, I feel like they really suffer because you went the Warzone route. Noobs should not be rewarded for sitting back lancering on exhibit from the lasers down on the hill that's, in that center area with snipe. They should not get a free kill. You should get a down for playing support, but you should not be able to sit there, dump 40 rounds, get a quick reload, and then dump 40 more with no interruption. I also have people backing the argument now for 20-round clip in the Lancer with 120 ammo reserves. It just makes sense. You want to change the meta, and you have to make aggressive changes. You have to stop pussyfooting around and acknowledge, yeah, the game's really broken. Let's start seeing what dynamically changes when we modify this. And that's a good step. Bring back the one shot down. Mitigate that Lancer camp. 20-round clip means I have to pay attention to my rounds more. I can't just down 3 to 4 people with one clip, which has already been proven with data that the Lancer can do that. Maybe this recent change made it you can only do 3 now. Within the last 2 months, you could down 3 to 4 people consistently with the Lancer. There is a thread on it. People have taken the time to research this on their own. I'm sorry if you don't want to take the time or you don't have friends to go into customs and lab it out. Bummer. You can either take my word for it, do it yourself, or shut the fuck up. That's the bottom line. Mitigate that Lancer cross. Make people have to reload more. If I burn those rounds and I don't help my team, I should have to reload frequently and be out of the fight. Make people respect Lancer play more. I would respect somebody if they managed to down me with their team with only a 20 clip, knowing how hard that is. That's a real challenge, and I would love to see how play opens up. The diversity, having Lancer versus Nasher come back, somebody actually standing their ground with the Lancer, trying to beat somebody with the Nasher, instead of just this weird campy angles, cross, it's really getting boring. That's why I don't play anymore. Aside from no one shot down and the Nasher feels like a clown gun that's just not real. What shotgun in any other game or real life, you shoot somebody from 2 footsteps away and they don't go down to their knees. In Call of Duty, that's a kill. Rainbow Six, that's a kill. Battlefield, that's a kill. One shot down is a unique feature to Gears. Bring that back. Do not reward a bad player for going out of position and not paying attention. And again, I'll dart back. Jote, you want to know the specific range. Again, 2 front footsteps. 2 footsteps away is the max range you should be able to get a one shot down. The Gib should be a quarter of a front footstep. That's how far the Gib should be able to go. If I can't Gib you over cover, guess what? I can one shot down you over cover. I bet that would be a lot less frustrating for people. instead of just getting these terrible gibs with magnetism and screen difference with poor netcode, why not use the one shot down to mitigate all these problems that have popped up because you took the one shot down away? That's why the gib range feels so stupidly broken, because there is no one shot down in the middle. So what do you expect people to do? That's the big fucking secret, Jack. No one shot down means people feel like the shotgun is sponging at times. You run up on somebody, you're right behind them, you hard aim shoot, you took extra time to make sure you wouldn't choke and miss, and it's not a body, and then he instantly bodies you, turns around, looks at you, and just bodies you. That ain't right. I should get a one shot down there because I should be rewarded for flanking. That is an outplay, not punished because you decided to take a feature that's been in the game since Gears 1 away. In Gears 1, you didn't need an active reload to hit a one shot down either, just so everybody knows. That was implemented in Gears 2 because of how random the Nasher was in Gears 1, which is what a lot of people loved. Surprise, surprise. The fact that on Fuel Depot, you could be from one side of boxes to the other, fire a shotgun shot, and maybe if you were looking at somebody, you would pop their dome. That could just happen sometimes. That the shotgun would have random sniper moments. That was the beauty of the game. And you were like, what the fuck? But you were like, oh wow, that was cool. You weren't mad. You thought that was cool that you got skilled on like that, and it made you want to learn how to skill on people like that. Encouraged you to be a little more ruthless and competitive instead of crying like a bitch. But anyway, like I said, that's what you need to do. Don't go the Gears 1 route. Go the Gears 2 route, where it required an active reload, which this allows you to bring back actives in a significant way. Actives should not include the whole clip. Actives should only replace the bullets lost. I know you can do it. And all actives should do is enable the gun to have a one shot down. Yes, that means you're going to bring back people pre-firing. But people have liked to do that for a while. People pre-fire so that they can flank a 1v3 and have a chance. They don't expect to pull it off every time, but people have been doing that since Gears 1, Gears 2, Gears 3. They like to flank and play that move and be the superstar. That's just something that's been in the game forever, and you want to take that away for what? I don't understand why this is even a conversation, and you've tricked the community into thinking the one shot down is the problem, when it's actually the solution. It's why players feel like the shotgun's inconsistent with sponging and gib range, because there's no one shot down, it's gib or two shot, every time. And you have no solution. So what, you just expect a solo player to never have any moments on his own? Even in free-for-all, it feels a little fucking bullshitty. I'm sick of my kills being stolen because I have to two-shot and then third-shot cleanup. I'm over it. What happened to those badass fucking moments where you down 3 people in a 1v3 and just walk up to them and in Gears 2 press the B button on all 3 of them and in 3 seconds club all of their heads like they were nothing, like they were casual, like you were making a mid-match statement in execution, you were just 2-2 going up 3-2. What happened to that? It's gone, because you're taking the culture out of the game. Like, Jote, it's going to take a lot. Maybe you don't give a fuck about me. I'll take that L. Whatever. But it'll take a lot to convince me that you actually give a fuck about the community, not me. That's what that statement, that interaction, that shitty little no you fed me, that's what that said after, I hadn't thought of that. I'm going to have to take a deeper look into that. Month and a half, and then you treat me like shit when I'm just trying to look out for you guys. And again, I'm sorry that you have these people in the community that will pander to you and, do a skin video and promote the game. But at the end of the day, these are just people taking advantage of you and the franchise. They're not trying to look out for you and help the game. They're just, like I said, Titanic sinking, and they're trying to get in before the boat fucking sinks. That being said, moving on to this next little blunder. I don't want to give these fools too much attention, but man, Clan MX, miserable xenophobes. Clan ESS, these fucking empty, soulless suckers. I don't know. I don't know what to say about you guys. That fucking meltdown on Twitter, hours of you melting down on a week-old post, I think that says enough. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my Twitter, look at my feed. I was busy hanging out with my family, took my nieces to the beach, because you know I'm a family guy. Not a fucking little weird kid fucking resurrecting a week-old Twitter post because he wanted some smoke. Just weirdo shit, man. It's up to you whether you believe me or not, but I'll tell you right now, anybody fucking with that MX or ESS shit, again, I'm going to tell you, you're fucking with a known racist in the community, a known child predator in the community, just somebody who's not good. You know? A real sick guy. And I'm glad he's covered it all up and whatever. That's great. By the way, awesome video exposing GGZ poo-poo milk. Fucking, that was so good. You were right, bro. It's fucking sad. Just sad. I don't know what else to say. I think that's all I can really spend on you fools. It was just sad to see a bunch of fucking kids melt down. You guys got more to lose than I do. I think you should be worried about your image. Might all be in good fun, but I don't know. I think in the context, it's a bad look for you, not for me. Wake the fuck up. And I don't really know what is going to happen to this game from here. When you keep having these little fucking stupid moments continue to happen repeatedly and nothing happens to correct it. There isn't much else to say. But no, you know, one thing I will say, I haven't shouted him out before. I talked about him a little bit here, but Dutch, man, I really like that podcast you did with Sam. You guys talked about some really good points. And I hope that the developers listened to that podcast at least, because nothing was too deep spectrum. But you guys did tackle a lot of important issues, more than they actually have in the year that they've been doing the dev streams. It's great to still see these people in the community coming together, having a dialogue, and we're all just trying to communicate about the game and parlay, see what's going to work. I still meet more people willing to try these experimental things than I do who are just against it and have no reason why. And those people exist. There's people out there who, no matter how much convincing, how much data you show them, the rationalization, paragraphs of not arguments, but just trying to be like, well, here's this. And you just get a broken, incomplete, half-assed sentence reply that makes you just give up trying to motivate them to see a better conception. And really, a lot of you guys and girls are robbing yourselves of the opportunity to see a game go deeper. You know, I've gotten people talking about the weapon slide now. I never thought that something like that would be relevant in the discussion, but I'm seeing quite a few people talk about it. I see my views go up a little bit every day, and, you know, it's nothing in the thousands, but I never thought I was going to break 100 on any of my videos. But I have. Here I am. I haven't gone anywhere. I see all these comments, and it touches my heart to see people actually have a genuine interest in me and the conversation and want to build on it and give me more ideas to talk about so that they feel represented instead of being demonized on the forums and have people get away with it. You got to stop playing these games and letting people trick you, Coalition. Just straight up, you have to stop pandering to these fucking wackos. And you know what? If somebody like me chooses to use colorful, a little colorful language, don't hate on me. There's plenty of us out there. This is an adult's game. I was a kid playing this game. I'm grown now, not too old, but we don't need to be censoring the game anymore. We've had enough of that. We really have. Just wake up. Realize the mistakes you've made. It's not too late. But if you continue ignoring people, I don't know. I think you got a lot more to worry about than just us. I think you have your jobs to worry about. But anyway, that's my time for today. A well-deserved call-out to many people who, I hate to do it, but yeah, you deserve it. Anyway, next week, we'll see where things take us. I already have some ideas for where I want to go, but this was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys discuss it, share it. Let people know you're sick and tired of this shit too. Anyway, this is Captain Ginyu, and I'm out. I'll catch you next time.